I'm really getting tired of hearing this idea, all of this rhetoric that's coming through YouTube, from across the border, from these capitalists, who are attempting to utilize hate, utilize anything they can get their hands on, to destroy someone like me. This idea that I represent the destruction of institutions like religion, institutions like the family and stuff like that. This is just bunk, man. This is just bunk. It's just literally just utilizing us, in lieu of the political correctness that's somewhat surrounding gay and lesbian people. We're just a substitute. It's like that hatred never went away, but now we've just given it a new face or something. Same spectrum, new face. That's what it really is. That's really what it boils down to. It boils down to all these classic, archaic sort of shite that comes from last century, misogyny, sexism, racism, discrimination, and all this jazz, and then just taking it and making it into this somewhat logical, illogical goobly-goop, that sounds like a lecture from Chairman Mao. I'm watching the Ben Shapiro latest vlog where he's talking, Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh are in working for the same cell. They're part of the same organization. They probably have the same studio. They churn out the same crap almost in tandem, almost the same ideas in tandem, routinely, all day long, like a Tin Pan Alley kind of production. And it's just, I don't even think it's not even about content, right? It's just must generate hate, must get people riled up, right? And then in doing so, then Republicans will get elected for the next election. You just need to draw out people's hate and animosity, and accuse someone like me of, destroying institutions like churches or government or different aspects of society and destroying the family. I'm not destroying families, right? People like me aren't destroying families, right? But you're out here generating hate, animosity, ignorance, around people like me, right? And doing things like internalizing hatred into me, right? Or programming the people around me, my friends, my family, etc., my community, to drive wedges between me and them with things like religion, with things like politics, with all this different type of jazz, right? And all you have to do, it's a very simple formula. All you have to do is put the person into a situation where they feel they're in a disposition, right? Because it's very natural to be racist. Very natural. It comes very natural to us. It comes very natural to me, right? All you have to do is just have someone who is slightly different than you. And that's a reason to be racist or discriminatory in any way, shape, or form. Right? But the worst part about it, though, is that just utilizing anything and everything, And clearly you are working in a studio with other people, who are generating the material for you, as if you're kind of like a politician or someone who's getting up and doing speeches, and you have these different teams behind you generating this material. But you would have all these cameras behind you. Like in the latest Ben Shapiro vlog about George Orwell's 1984, having all these cameras behind you. All those TV cameras cost money. Like, how stupid do you think we are? Do you assume that you have a bunch of cameras in your basement? Do you think that we assume, that those screens you have behind you or Matt Walsh, which almost look like they're identical, are actual rooms? Do you think people are that dumb? Do you think people are that dumb that you can just, churn out gobbledygook logic, right? And villainize people, and just say it at a certain speed and imprint them with this like ghastly image or something like that, right? To get them to come to the conclusion of your one point. Chairman Mao used to do that all the time. He would take Marxism, Leninism, he would take Buddhism, all different isms, philosophy, Taoism, all kinds of things, and he would blend them all together and churn out the one key point: we must industrialize China. We have to industrialize China, before the Limeys get here. It's really just like, do you sleep? Right? Like how do you tattoo, religious symbols on you and then sleep easy? Or wear a skull cap and then sleep easy? Like, how do you, like, take the concept of God, for example. You guys are always out there and you're like, define what a woman is, right? Clear, cut, and simple. Just define it. What is a woman, right? What is God? Ben Shapiro was Jewish. Matt Walsh is Catholic, right? So what is God? All around the world, everyone has all these different definitions and ideas of what God is, what religion is, how this all interplays, right? And they literally have different definitions of what God is. It's like they all have different gods. They all have different gods who are telling them different things. One tells them to do it this way, the other one tells them to do it that way. The Northern Irish Catholic God tells them to attack the Protestant God. How can they be the same God? How can this one God, this one universal God exist if there's so many different gods, right? And yet the concept of God is universal. And yet not, right? Well, the same is true with us, right? The concept of female is universal and diverse at the same time. Very simple. Sorry, I wish I could have done a better blog. I'm just like super tired.